You want your life to change, but every time you try, it falls apart. You've read the books, watched the videos, made the plans, and nothing sticks. Jordan Peterson has a brutal answer for why. You're starting in the wrong place.
He's not going to tell you to chase your dreams or believe in yourself. He's going to tell you to do something so simple, it almost sounds stupid. But it might be the one thing that finally turns everything around. Let me explain. It doesn't matter how your life looks right now. Messy, stuck, or going okay but feeling empty. You're here because deep down you know something isn't right. Maybe you've tried to fix it. Maybe you've read a bunch of self-help books, made lists, set goals, but the same problems keep showing up. I know exactly what that's like. And I want to tell you something that might sound strange. A lot of the answers you're looking for are not hidden in some complicated secret. They've been in front of you the whole time, but you've ignored them because they sound too simple. That's what first drew me to Jordan Peterson. Whether you agree with him or not, the man has a way of saying things that cut right through the noise. And here's the part that really stuck with me. If you want to change your life, start by cleaning your room. I used to laugh at that. Really? That's the big advice? Clean my room? But the more I listened, the more I understood. It wasn't about the room. It was about starting small, taking responsibility, and proving to yourself that you can put even one tiny piece of your chaotic world in order. See, here's the truth. We want to fix everything at once. We want the job, the relationship, the health, the money, all in one giant leap. But Peterson's point is that you can't put the world in order if your own life is a mess. Your room, your habits, your promises to yourself, those are your test runs for bigger challenges. And here's the uncomfortable part. It's your responsibility. Not the government's, not your parents', not society's. Yours. When I first heard him talk about shouldering the heaviest burden you can carry, I thought it sounded exhausting. Why would I want more weight on my shoulders? Life's already hard enough. But then I realized something. Weight gives you strength. Responsibility gives you meaning. And meaning is what makes the hard parts of life worth it. Peterson often says that life is suffering. It's a hard pill to swallow. But look around, he's not wrong. People get sick, loved ones die, plans fail. If you build your happiness on the idea that life should be easy, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. But if you accept that life is going to be difficult, you can prepare for it. You can get strong enough to carry it. And here's where things get interesting. Peterson doesn't just talk about surviving. He talks about aiming higher. Not just, don't be miserable, but be someone worth respecting, someone your future self would thank. He says you should aim at the highest good you can imagine and work toward it, even if you fail along the way. Why? Because even a failed attempt at something noble makes you stronger than a successful attempt at something meaningless. I remember listening to him explain the idea of standing up straight with your shoulders back. It sounds like a posture tip, but it's really a mindset shift. You're telling the world, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm not running from the fight. And funny enough, when you stand like that, people treat you differently. More respect, more trust, and you start to believe you can handle more than you thought. Another big idea that hit me hard. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Seems obvious, right? But think about how often we bend the truth to avoid conflict, to look good, or just to make things easier in the moment. Every time you lie even a little, you're building your life on a shaky foundation. And sooner or later, it collapses. Peterson's point is simple. A truthful life might be harder in the short term, but in the long term it saves you from disaster. He also talks a lot about chaos and order. Order is your routines, your structure, the part of life you can control. Chaos is everything unexpected. Tragedy, change, opportunity. You can't live in pure order. You'll get bored and rigid. You can't live in pure chaos. You'll get lost and anxious. The trick is to walk the line between the two. Enough order to keep you grounded, enough chaos to keep you growing. And then there's one of his most controversial but powerful points.
Don't compare yourself to who someone else is today. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Social media makes it so easy to measure ourselves against the highlight reels of others. But that's a losing game. Peterson's advice is to make incremental progress. Just be a little bit better than you were yesterday, because that's the only comparison that actually matters. I'll be honest, the first time I tried to apply this stuff, I failed. I made a huge to-do list, set massive goals, promised myself I'd fix my life in a month. 2 weeks later, I was burned out and more frustrated than before. That's when I realized I'd missed the point. Peterson's not telling you to overhaul everything overnight. He's telling you to start with something small, master it, and then move to the next thing. Clean your room. Keep a promise. Tell the truth. Stand tall. Stack enough of those wins, and your life starts to transform in ways you didn't think possible. One of his lectures that really stuck with me was about the hero's journey. The idea that you have to go into the unknown, face the dragon, and bring back something valuable.
The dragon might be your fear, your addiction, your laziness, your resentment. You don't get stronger by avoiding it. You get stronger by facing it, even if you're terrified. Peterson isn't about quick hacks or feel-good slogans. He's about doing the hard, unglamorous work every single day and finding meaning in it. He believes that if enough individuals put their lives in order, society itself improves. That's why his advice always comes back to personal responsibility. If you want the world to be better, start with yourself. And maybe that's the part people miss. They hear clean your room and think it's trivial. But it's a symbol. If you can't handle your own room, how are you going to handle a relationship, a career, a family, a crisis? Peterson is basically saying, prove you can win the small battles and you'll be ready for the big ones. So if your life feels overwhelming right now, stop trying to fix it all at once. Look around. What's one thing you can set in order today? Do it. Then do it again tomorrow. Over time, you'll look back and realize you're not the same person anymore. You're stronger, more capable, and maybe for the first time, you actually believe you can handle what life throws at you. That's the Jordan Peterson message in a nutshell. Life is suffering, responsibility gives it meaning. Aim at the highest good you can. Tell the truth. Start small. And one day, you'll wake up and realize you've built a life you're proud to live.
If this message hit you, even just a little, do me a favor. Hit that like button so more people can find it. Drop a comment below and tell me which part resonated with you the most. I read every single one. And if you know someone who needs to hear this today, share it with them. Most importantly, subscribe and turn on the notifications, because we're just getting started, and you don't want to miss what's coming next.